Good morning, class 6. Yesterday we have talked about rural administration. Today we will do urban administration. Although you are aware that these chapters are not going to be asked in your examination, that means they are not in your syllabus. We are doing them for your understanding. Okay, so we all have talked about rural and urban, so we are aware that urban means the city life. A city is much bigger than a village and more spread out. A city has crowded markets, many buses and cars, water and electricity facilities, traffic control, and hospitals. Have you ever wondered who is responsible for running all this? Do you know how decisions are made? How the planning is done? Who are the people who will do all the work? Read this chapter and find out some answers. Okay, so like for example, if you talk about who take decision at your house, you will say that my mom and dad, they sit together and take some important decisions, right, like this, right? Sometimes you also contribute in some decisions. Okay, so one lazy Sunday afternoon, Mala and her friends Shankar, Jahangir, and Rahana were playing a game of cricket in the street. Shankar had bowled a good over, although he nearly managed to get Rahana out. She was still batting. Frustrated, he bowled a short ball and hoped he would hit it for an easy catch. Instead, Rehana hit the ball so hard and so high that the street light broke. Rehana screamed, "Oh no! Look what I have done," Shankar said. "Yes, we forgot to make a rule that if you break the street light, you're automatically out." But Mala, Jahangir, and Rehana were more worried about what had happened, and they told Shankar he did better stop thinking about the wicket. Last week they had broken Nirmala Mausi's window and had spent their pocket money to have it replaced. Would they have to dish out money again for their pockets? But who would they pay this to? To whom did the light on the street belong? Who changed them? So here is a like there are four friends. They are enjoying their Sunday afternoon by playing cricket. Shankar, Jahangir, Rehana, and Mala, and they were playing cricket as I have told you, and Rehana was batting and Shankar was bowling to her. Rehana hit the ball and suddenly the street light broke down. Now they were worried. Rehana, Jahangir, and Mala were worried that whom should they pay for it? Whereas Shankar thought of that he has taken and they should have made a rule that if the street light breaks down, they will be the person who is batting will be automatically out. But they were worried because in the last week when they had broken the Mausi's window, they had to pay from their pocket money. Now Rehana's house was the closest and they ran and told her mother what had happened. Rehana's mother said, "I don't really know these things in great detail, but I do know that it is the municipal corporation of the city that takes care of replacing lights. The best person to ask would be Yasmin Khala. She had just retired from the municipal corporation. Go and ask her, and Rehana, come back home soon." So they went to Yasmin Khala's house. She lived in same lane and she and Rehana's mother were good friends. Sorry. The children ran to Khala's house and when she opened the door, they began to tell her what had happened all at once. When they asked about the street light, Yasmin Khala laughed and said, "There is no one person that you can pay the money to. There is a big organization called the Municipal Corporation that takes care of street light, garbage collection, water supply, keeping the street and the market clean." "I have heard about the municipal corporation. They put up signs around the city to inform people about malaria," said Mala. "Yes, you are quite right. The municipal corporation is also responsible for ensuring that diseases do not break out in the city. It also runs schools, hospitals, and dispensaries, and makes gardens and maintains them," said Yasmin Khala. Then she added, Our city, Pune, is a big city, and so here it is called a municipal corporation. In smaller towns, it is called municipal council. So Yasmin Khala like found it funny because the children were sounding very innocent because they said that they wanted to pay the money for the street light. But then she said that there is no one person who is responsible for this. It's an organization which works for all these things, and that is known as municipal corporation. And if you talk about small cities, it is the same organization is known as municipal council, which replaces the street lights, which takes care of the garbage collection and other making people aware of the diseases and all that. The ward councillor and the administrative staff. Yasmin Khala, I am curious. Who decides where a park should go? Did you have to make interesting decision like this when you worked in the municipal corporation? Asked Rehana. No, Rehana, I was working in the accounts office of the corporation, so I just worked on pay slips. Cities are usually quite large, so the municipal corporation has to make a lot of decisions as well as do a lot of work to keep the city clean. The decisions like where a park or a new hospital should go are usually made by the ward councillors. So, the ward councillors are there who take the decision of like where a hospital should be made or where a park should be made. The city is divided into different wards and ward councillor get elected. So the city, it has been, you must be aware that during the election, the parents must have said, they discussed that my election, my voting booth is in this ward and all that. So the city has been divided into different wards and there are ward councillors. And they just randomly nobody is selected, but then it is like they are elected. The ward councillors are elected. The complicated decision that affect the entire city are taken by a group of councillors who form committees to decide and debate issues. For example, if bus stands need to be improved or a crowded marketplace needs to have its garbage clear more regularly, or there is a nala or that is a drain that cuts through the city that needs cleaning, etc. It is these committees for water, garbage collection, street lighting, etc. that decide on the work to be done. So obviously one person cannot take all the decisions, so there are different segments and they take the decision. When the problem are within a ward, when the people who live in the ward can contact their councillors, for example, if there are dangerous electrical wires hanging down, then the local councillor can help them get in touch with the electricity authority. While the councillors, committees and the councillors decide on issues, the commissioner and the administrative staff implement these. The commissioner and the administrative staff are appointed. Councillors are elected. So you can see that the councillors, as we have discussed, that they are elected and they decide on the issues, whereas the commissioner and the administrative staff, they implement the decisions. The commissioner and the administrative staff, they are appointed. So here are these decisions. So how are these decisions made? Asked Rehana, who never gave up on her train of thought. Well, all of the ward councillors meet and they make a budget and the money is spent according to this. The ward councillor try and ensure that the particular demand of their ward are placed before the entire council. These decisions are then implemented by the administrative staff, said Yasmin Khala, enjoying the questions. So she said that the councillor, they have to present they make a budget, and then the ward councillor, they try to ensure, they try to put in front of them that whatever is the requirement in their area. Okay, so how does the municipal corporation get its money? Providing and running so many services requires a lot of money. The municipal corporation collects this in different ways. A tax is a sum of money that people pay to the government for the services the government provides. People who own homes have to pay a property tax as well as taxes for water and other services. The larger the house, the more the tax. Property taxes, however, form only 25 to 30% of the money that a municipal corporation earns. There are also taxes for education and other amenities. If you own a hotel or shop, then you have to pay a tax for this as well. Also, the next time you go to see a movie, look carefully at your ticket because you pay a tax for this as well. Thus, while rich people account for property taxes, a much wider population pays more general taxes. So, the person has to pay a property tax, and if the property is big, the tax is also increased. Then there are entertainment tax, like we pay for watching a movie. And okay, so Yasmin was enjoying that the children asked all the questions. They were asking so many questions, and she was enjoying answering those questions. No adult asked her about her job, and the children's question provided her an opportunity to relieve some of her experience. But the city is so large, it must take a lot of people to look after it. Does the municipal corporation have a lot of workers? Asked Shankar curiously. He had by now luckily forgotten about the cricket match and his incomplete over. Yes, the work in the city is divided into different departments. So there is the water department, the garbage collection department, a department to look after gardens, another to look after roads. I worked on accounts in the sanitation department, said Yasmin Khala, and then went on to offer the children some kebabs to eat. Jahangir ate his kebab at top speed, and as he walked down, asked loudly from the kitchen, Yasmin Khala, where does the garbage that the municipal corporation collect go to? The others were still eating when Yasmin Khala began to answer. This question has an interesting answer. As you know, you can usually find garbage lying all over the street. Earlier, even our neighborhood used to have garbage lying all over. And if this remains uncollected, it attracts dogs, rats, and flies. Also, people get ill from the smell. At one point, things become so bad that children even stopped playing cricket in the street because their parents were afraid that they'd get sick from staying on the street too long. So, when Yasmin Khala had offered them the kebabs, Jahangir took one of it and just ate it quickly, and then he asked the question that where does the garbage go which the municipal corporation collects. So Yasmin Khala told them that initially it was like even after municipal corporation is working, you can see that garbage is thrown here and there. The women were very unhappy about the situation and even came to me for advice. I said I could try and speak with some officer in the department, but I wasn't sure how long it would take. Then it was Gangabai who said that it is the ward councillor who we should go to and protest, since we are the ones who elected him. She gathered a small group of women and went to his house. They began shouting slogans in front of his house, and he came out and asked them what was wrong. Gangabai described the situation in the locality to him. He promised to go with them the next day to meet the commissioner. He asked Gangabai to get a petition signed by all of the adults in the locality saying that garbage was not being collected. He suggested that taking the local sanitation engineer with them the next day might be a good idea. The sanitation engineer could also speak with the commissioner and tell him how bad the situation was. That evening, children ran from house to house, making sure that as many families as possible signed the petition. So they wrote a petition, and they thought that as the councillor had suggested them that as many signs will be there, that will be having much of impact. So the next morning, a large group of women and the ward councillor and the sanitation engineer went to the municipal corporation office. The commissioner met with the large group and began giving excuses, saying that the corporation did not have enough trucks. But Gangabai smartly replied, "But you seem to have enough trucks to collect garbage from the rich localities." That must have left him lost for words, quipped Jahangir. Yes, he said that he would take care of it immediately, and Gangabai threatened that if it was not done in 2 days, a larger group of women would protest in front of the corporation. Said Yasmin Khala. So did the street get clean? Asked Rehana, who never let things remain unfinished. Well, not within 2 days, and then after another larger and more noisy protest, the sanitation service in this locality became more regular. So, first day protest didn't help, so they have to gather again and protested again, and finally the commissioner had to take action and it was cleaned. Wow, this sounds like a Bollywood film with happy ending. Why was Gangabai protesting? So obviously, this is proving the saying that united we stand. So finally, Mala, who already began imagining herself in the lead role of Gangabai. The children enjoyed hearing Gangabai's story immensely. They had sensed that Gangabai was much loved and respected, and now they understood why. They got up and thanked Khala for answering their questions, and then before they left, Rehana said, "Oh, I have one last question, Khala. The 2 dustbins that we have at home now, are they Gangabai's idea?" Khala began laughing. No, not really. The municipal corporation was the one who suggested that we do this to help keep our streets clean. When we sort our own garbage, it reduces their work. The children thanked Khala and walked back down the street together. It had become quite late and they needed to get back home. For some reason, the street seemed darker than usual. They looked up and then looked at each other, smiling, and ran right back to Khala's house. The city of Surat had a plague scare in 1994. Surat was one of the dirtiest cities in India. Houses, hotels, and restaurants would dump their garbage into the nearest drain or street, which made it very difficult for sweepers to collect and transfer the garbage into selected dumps. In addition to this, the municipal corporation did not collect the garbage as often it should have, and this led to the situation getting worse. Plague spread through the air and people would have the disease have to be isolated. In Surat, several people lost their lives and over 300,000 deserted the city. The scare of the plague ensured that the municipal corporation completely cleaned up the city. Surat continues to remain one of the cleanest cities in India. So obviously plague is a deadliest disease and people were scared, so they left the city, and finally the municipal corporation also took efforts and the city was cleaned. With this we finish the chapter here. I'll be sending you the question answers which you will write down in your notebooks. Thank you children. Take care of yourselves. Be safe at home.